Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Comfy Chats with Bisade. So I'm going to try to do this weekly where I just pick a topic and sit down and talk to you guys about it. And I would love to know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. So today we're going to be talking about how motherhood has changed me. Now, this is based on my opinion, based on things I have gone through. It doesn't have to be the same for everybody. And I would love to even know how motherhood has changed either of you and how fatherhood as well has changed you. But I'm a mom, so I'm going to speak about how motherhood has changed me. So first thing first is tidiness. Now, for some of you who might be watching who have known me in the past, I can be messy in the sense that I love cleanliness, but I might not put things back where they're supposed to be. And the place might be a bit messy. But like one thing I have noticed is like since having a child, I just really want the place to be tidy. I don't know if it's because motherhood, like I'm working and then I'm a mom and it just has a lot of open tabs in my head. Unlike before where if a space is a bit untidy, it doesn't bother me. But when I see the space being untidy, it like stresses me out, and a place being tidy just makes me feel more sane. And also, like, no one wants their child to grow up in like a messy environment. Anyways, I don't want my child to grow up in a messy environment. Like, I feel part of having a good childhood is just having a clean, tidy space. Like, I've always been clean, just a bit untidy. So now I'm like very big on putting things back where they're supposed to be and just ensuring like my space is just very tidy. And you know how like kids like lay on the floor and roll on the floor and take things from the floor. So maybe before having a kid, I will mop the floor once every 3 weeks. Now, every week I try to mop the floor because I'm just like, it's just very disgusting if your floor isn't clean and your child is like rolling on the floor. Yeah. So for me, I'm just more keen on having a very tidy space, like trying to pick up after yourself as much as possible. Like every night or every morning doing the dishes, just making sure there's less work to do every day and how to make my day just more enjoyable. I have to have a bit more of a tidy space. Another thing for me is like spirituality. Like I've always loved God and I've always been a Christian, but like since I became a mom, being more prayerful became essential for me. Like not just even praying for my child and for myself, but also praying for like my friends with kids. I don't know, it just kind of like even heightened my spiritual antenna. And it's also like growing up, I've always heard, don't tell a kid what to do. You need to live that lifestyle for your kid to be able to follow. It's not like don't do this, but you're like my mom, like you're doing it, then you're telling your child not to do it. Like it's very counter, like it doesn't make sense, right? And seeing the world the way it is now, I just feel like spirituality and being close to God is really important. So I don't want to tell my child to be a Christian. I want to live a God-filled life. I want to be an example so he has something to follow. So for me, really taking my spiritual life and like my work with God seriously has become more important since I became a mom. Like it's become top priority, living a lifestyle that glorifies God so my child has that example. And when I'm bringing him up in the way of the Lord, he also sees his mom living that lifestyle, so he's able to pick examples, he's able to relate to it even more because he's seen his mom live it. So that's something that's really like has really changed about me. Another thing is like career. So before I became a mom, like I used to be very ambitious. Like I wanted like big things in my career, and that hasn't changed necessarily. It's just changed the way I see things. So I do want a career, like I do want to grow up the career ladder. But for me, my priorities have kind of changed in the sense that, in as much as I want a career, what I want from my career is different. What I want more is stability. When I say stability, it's like I want something stable, something slightly predictable, something that there's no volatility, there's no job volatility. It's just a very stable industry, stable company. That's something I really desire now that I'm a mom, something that gives me balance, like work-life balance. Unlike before where I could work till 10 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., which I did most of my career. But like being a mom, I want to be a present mom because it's I already work in 9 to 5, right? So I'm half the 5 days out of the week I'm not with my son. So when I'm home, I really want to be present. I don't want to be working and saying, oh, can you give mommy a minute? Can you give mommy a second? No. I just want to be able to be present and connect with my son. Like they're only young for so long, and like when they grow up now, they're like too cool for mom. So now that they're not too cool for mom, I just want to like enjoy that moment and be very present in that moment. So, you know, in my career, I'm just looking at things more differently. I'm desiring a different lifestyle, a different form of career that gives me stability, gives me work-life balance, and the opportunity to just be very present with my son. Another thing that's changed, I think that's number 4, is appreciation for my body, how it is. I remember like growing up, I was never like really big, but I always was on a diet. I was always working out, always trying to lose weight. Like every time I spoke to my sister, she's always like, "You are always on a diet. Is it only you? Is it only you? Which fat are you losing?" And to think that I was smaller then, now I'm bigger, but I've realized like I need to start to practice self-love, not speaking down on my body, loving my body in the state that it is, because in the state that it is, it's beautiful. This is as beautiful as it can get. Obviously, do you work to try to be healthier? Of course, but like you have to learn to love yourself now, because now when I look back when I was smaller, why did I stress myself? I should have just loved myself then and enjoy that body then, and then I move on to this stage and enjoy and love this body now. So that's one thing, is I'm practicing self-love so that I can give that example to my child, especially in a world where the social media is pushing you're not good enough, you're not beautiful enough, your hair is not the way it should be, you're supposed to be a light hair is in fashion, you have to be skinny, or you have to have a big butt and a tiny waist. Like social media pushes all these norms of, it's pushing like how your body is supposed to look and how your hair is supposed to look and how your finger, like it pushes a narrative of this is what the perfect body should be, when the world is full of variety, and that's the spice of life. Like for example, not every man likes a skinny woman. Some men like thick women, some men like skinny women, some men like curvy women, some men like straighter women. Like that is why there are different types of body. We can't all just be the same. So in an era where there's a lot of like taking away people's self-confidence and people having low self-esteem, I want to be an example of how you are is beautiful enough. Like, yes, you can strive to be better, but you need to appreciate the person that you are at the moment. So since I became a mom, self-love, body love, body positivity has been really important to me. Like not speaking down on my body, not always speaking and saying, oh, I'm too big, or no, I'm beautiful the way I am. But yes, I'm still trying to improve on certain things, but like I love myself how it is, so that I can push the narrative. And having a son, so he can learn to appreciate other people, other women for who they are, and not expect them to fit a certain mold. So that's something that's really changed about me since motherhood. Number 5, the 5th thing that's changed is chasing my dreams intentionally. I've always, like, for example, I've always wanted to start a business of mine, and it's something that I will do, and then when it's getting stressful, I'll just leave it and move on and go back to it. But now, since I became a mom, because financial independence has become more important, because I want to leave something worthwhile. I want to leave something good for my son. I want to start him off better than I started off, give him more opportunities. And I realized like that comes with a bit of financial independence on my side to be able to offer my son that. So being intentional about chasing my dreams has something that has changed with motherhood, even with my YouTube channel, right? Like I started it and then I left it, but coming back and being more intentional with it and ensuring that even though I'm a mom, I still matter. Like, I don't want motherhood to take over my life. I also have to show my son that I still lived my life. I still enjoyed my life. I still invested in myself. I still chased my dreams, and I still lived authentically, and I lived fully. Do you get? And I'm giving him an example that even though the world sometimes fights you, you can still fight back and rise above and fulfill those desires and dreams that you have. And so chasing my dreams more intentionally, putting in that intentional effort, working hard, working smart, has something that has become more, that has changed about me with motherhood. And if you notice from like all the things I've said, it's also about living my life, but also living a life of worthy example for my son, living a life that I'm not going to be perfect, obviously, because I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes, but in the ways that I can make impact in my son's life, in the ways that I can give good examples and be a good example. I'm taking those things more seriously and being more intentional about it. Because for me, I feel when you decide to become a parent, then there comes a lot of sacrifice and intentionality. Like, we want to change the way society has become so depraved, and I feel it starts from the home. So we as parents have to be very intentional about how we live our life, how we raise our kids, the examples we set for our kids, so that when they go into the world, they are great additions to the world, right? In being kind and polite to your child, not giving, like, see how we have bullies in school, right? Some of these things start from the home, not in all cases, but it's also from maybe how the parent speaks to them or speaks to themselves. So those things are important, and I feel like as a mom, I feel that responsibility to be the best that I can be, not to the extent of craziness. There's a balance. Like I said, you will still make mistakes, but it's just showing the humility to know I've made a mistake, and I'm going to do better, and I'm going to work hard on those things I made a mistake on. And the last thing that has changed for me since becoming a mom is, like, I didn't know I would love motherhood as much as I love it. Like, I've always thought about being a mom, or of being wanting to be a mom, but it wasn't like crazy on my mind around my adult age. But like having my son has opened my eyes to the desire I have for, like, really having a big, beautiful family. I feel like since I had my son, like, so many things about me have changed for the better. Like, I love my life now as a mom than I did when I wasn't a mom. And not to say my life wasn't good when I wasn't a mom, but there's just so much beauty that I feel. Like I said, this is just my experience. There's just so much happiness and joy that I feel since becoming a mom, that it's made me realize I really, really enjoy this motherhood journey. And it doesn't take away from the fact that it's hard. I have my hard days. It's stressful, but like, it's the best thing ever. And yeah, I just wanted to share this point with you, and I would love to hear what other mothers and fathers, and hear from you how, like, motherhood has changed you, and how it's develop maybe new things in you, or maybe made you involve in certain ways. Like, please put your comments down and let's talk about it in the comment section. Yeah, so thank you all for watching this video. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.